Hello everyone, I'm excited to tell you about a recent discovery. It's a remarkable Chinese restaurant that I can't wait to share with you. This unassuming spot is a must visit for foodies, be they local Vegas residents or out-of-town visitors. Really, anyone seeking an unforgettable dining experience. If you're searching for authentic Asian cuisine in Las Vegas, despite it being a bit off the beaten path, this restaurant delivers flavors every bit as alluring as any of the classic restaurants found in the heart of our amazing Chinatown. As I stepped in, I was immediately reminded of my childhood, when my father, on his way home from work, would bring home fragrant, flavorful dishes from tucked-away LA Chinatown eateries. Those unforgettable meals sparked my lifelong passion for food exploration, and this restaurant masterfully captures that same nostalgic charm. It's one of those rare, hole-in-the-wall restaurants where the focus is purely on bold, authentic flavors and heartwarming culinary storytelling. The menu bursts with expertly crafted dishes that honor traditional Asian flavors while offering a modern twist. Each bite is a celebration of authentic cuisine, prepared with skill and care by a kitchen that clearly values its craft. If you're a fan of off-the-radar dining spots that deliver palate-pleasing dishes, Dragon Bite should be at the top of your Las Vegas food bucket list. Located at 10890 Southeastern Avenue, don't be put off by it being a few miles south of the Strip. Make the trip, you'll thank me later. Dragon Bite is a restaurant where culinary magic happens. Stay tuned to the end as we have a special offer to announce, and I don't want you to miss out. According to YouTube, 80% of you watching right now are not subscribed. So please, if you find these videos informative or helpful, by all means, subscribe. It's free and helps our channel to grow so we can keep bringing you more videos. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a bite. Okay, let's get started. If you're as obsessed with sweet milk teas and boba as I am, then you're going to love Dragon Bite. On our first visit, we treated ourselves to the mango milk tea, ube milk, and Thai iced tea. And let me tell you, they were pure perfection. Each sip had just the right balance of sweetness, tea, and creamy milk, making every drink a delight. We couldn't resist going back for round two. This time we dove into the honeydew and strawberry milk teas, and they were equally as amazing. Smooth, flavorful, and perfectly balanced. Dragon Bite knows how to hit all the right notes. If you're craving a boba spot that truly delivers, I can't recommend Dragon Bite enough. Take it from me, the recommendation, not the drink. Your taste buds will thank you. This is the dish that first brought me to Dragon Bite. As an avid member of a food blog, I've seen countless conversations unfold regarding the best sweet and sour or orange chicken. In one thread alone, there were over 100 responses, and nearly half raved about Dragon Bite chicken. One commenter declared, "If you know, you know." Another boldly claimed, "Heads and tails above any other orange chicken in Vegas." Skeptical, but intrigued, I thought, it can't really be that good, can it? But after just one bite, I understood the buzz. It's nothing short of sensational. The batter is a masterpiece. So perfectly crispy, it practically shatters with each bite, without the heavy, greasy aftermath that often plagues fried foods. Instead, it's light, clean, and leaves you feeling satisfied and not weighed down. And the sauce? Absolute perfection. A harmonious blend of sweet, tangy, and just the right hint of spice. It teases your palate without overwhelming it. The balance is so impeccable, you'll find yourself savoring every bite and already planning your return visit. Trust me, once you taste this dish, you'll see why it's a Vegas favorite. Dragon Bite chicken isn't just a meal, it's a culinary triumph that lives up to its legendary reputation. If you know, you know. And if you don't, now is the time to find out. Chow Fun, the classic Cantonese noodle dish, has been enjoyed for centuries. Originating in Guangdong province, these rice noodles, made from the region's fertile paddies, were stir-fried and served either dry or wet, depending on the cook style. While many Westerners are more familiar with the dry version, the wet style, often served in traditional tea houses, offers a comforting twist. Tonight we tried the house wet chow fun, served deconstructed with everything on the side, a presentation favored by many of my Asian friends. The noodles, slightly narrower than the typical wide cut, had a perfect bite and subtle seasoning, impressive enough to shine on their own. The sauce was rich and savory, with umami depth from garlic, white pepper, a reduced stock, and soy sauce. It coated each bite smoothly without overpowering the delicate noodles. On the menu, referred to as the house combination, it included tender beef and chicken, mushrooms, carrots, pea pods, baby corn, zucchini, water chestnuts, onions, and celery, all cooked just past crisp, creating a perfect balance of textures and flavors. There's a lot happening in this dish, yet everything feels harmonious. The bold, layered flavors show a kitchen that truly knows its craft, transforming a humble noodle dish into something special. So far, Dragon Bite is definitely making a favorable impression. Shrimp tempura, traditionally known for its delicate Japanese frying style, has been making a bold splash on Chinese restaurant menus lately. But here, it's less about the airy crunch and more about a satisfying, hearty crispiness. And this is the Chinese twist. The shrimp? Big, sweet, and incredibly fresh, wrapped in just enough batter to deliver the perfect golden bite. Another departure from the Japanese version is the sauce. At Dragon Bite, the tempura is accompanied with a sweet sour sauce, which is a fun reimagining and a nostalgic nod to the classic duck sauce you find in old school New York spots or West Coast Chinese joints back in the 80s. It's glossy, tangy, and clings to each bite like a fall leaf to a woolen sweater. Honestly, it's the kind of dish you could just keep popping these in your mouth without thinking, if the rest of the menu weren't just as tempting. Honey walnut shrimp is a staple of Chinese American cuisine, known for its rich, sweet, and creamy sauce. It likely originated from Hong Kong banquet-style fare in the 1980s, before being adapted with an American twist, emphasizing the sweet, creamy elements. Traditionally, candied walnuts provide a caramelized crunch, but in this version, they were simply toasted. While good, they lacked the glossy, candy-coated texture that could have elevated the dish. It's like expecting a shiny new car but getting one without the polish. Fun to drive, but not quite Instagram-worthy. Despite this, the dish still impressed. The shrimp was exceptionally fresh, lightly battered with just the right amount of crispness, complementing their natural sweetness. The sauce was a velvety blend of sweetened condensed milk, honey, mayonnaise, and just the faintest hint of lemon, creating a balanced, decadent finish. Would I order it again? Definitely. However, next time, I'd skip the walnuts entirely unless they're properly candied. If a dish is called honey walnut shrimp, the walnuts should be worthy of their top billing. And now for a spectacular shrimp sensation. Fresh, jumbo, plump shrimp, perfectly crispy yet surprisingly light, making every bite a delight. This salt and pepper shrimp, hands down one of my favorite renditions of this dish. Bold, flavorful, downright addictive. And if you're a spice lover like me, prepare for a fiery thrill. This dish packs a bold punch of heat, thanks to a blend of crispy serrano slices and mild red and green bell peppers. And garlic fans, brace yourselves, because this shrimp is loaded with golden fried garlic that adds an irresistible savory crunch. The shrimp's delicate crispy coating is expertly balanced, letting the natural sweetness of the seafood shine. Tossed with fresh, vibrant scallions, every bite bursts with mouth-watering flavor. This salt and pepper shrimp is pure perfection. Spicy, garlicky, crispy, utterly unforgettable. You're going to love this dish as much as I do. One bite of this cashew chicken, and I'm instantly reminded of the late 70s, when my dad would bring home those classic white takeout boxes from his trips to LA's Chinatown. The veggies are chopped with care, neat, even, just the right size, giving the dish a great balance of texture and flavor. And the chicken? Perfect. Fresh, tender, and cooked just enough to stay juicy without falling apart. But the sauce? That's where this dish really shines. A smooth blend of soy sauce, white pepper, and garlic that ties everything together with warm, comforting flavors. Then there are the cashews, golden and toasty, adding just the right touch of richness that sticks with you after each bite. With so many standout dishes on the table today, it's going to be tough to choose a favorite, but this cashew chicken is definitely a serious contender. As a kid, I always wondered what these dishes would taste like when they were fresh and not having spent 30 minutes or so in a white cardboard box. Well, now I know. The lemon chicken is all about texture done right. Picture the satisfying crunch of a perfectly fried chicken cutlet, kind of like a Japanese katsu, light, crisp, and well executed. It practically crackles with every bite. No greasiness here, just a tender, juicy chicken breast cooked with care. I was a bit skeptical about the sauce, worried it might be too sweet, so I asked for it on the side. Turns out, it was a pleasant surprise. Bright, citrusy, and refreshing, more of a compliment than a glaze. It added just enough zing to balance the richness without overpowering the dish. This isn't your average lemon chicken. It's a wonderful example of balance and technique, and absolutely worth trying. Egg Foo Young is a dish teetering on the edge of culinary extinction, but thankfully, I've noticed it making a quiet resurgence in the Vegas dining scene. It's been one of the most frequently requested and commented about dishes by our viewers who are eager to rediscover it. Unfortunately, its revival comes with a multitude of interpretations. Some prefer their Egg Foo Young as a fluffy, omelet-like creation, generously filled with chopped vegetables and proteins, while others favor a more minimalist approach. Here, it arrives as pure egg pancakes with a scattering of bean sprouts, with no filling, just the pancakes themselves. The texture leans denser than the ideal, veering closer to a matzo latke than the airy standard I personally prefer. My first visit left me unimpressed. Served already swimming in sauce, the pancakes turned slightly tough. On the second visit, I requested the sauce on the side, and it made a world of difference. The pancakes retained a better structure, and dipping allowed me to control the balance of the richness. Still, my ideal Egg Foo Young involves everything smothered in a silky, velvety gravy, and this sauce, I have to say, is near perfect. Savory, umami-packed, and comforting in that classic old-school Chinese-American way. The proteins, chicken, shrimp, beef, are cooked tenderly, each bite soaking up the sauce beautifully. Snap peas and thinly sliced carrots provide a crisp, fresh contrast that balances the dish well. My advice, order the sauce and proteins on the side. It's the way that lets this nostalgic favorite shine at its best. At Dragon Bite, the salt and pepper pork chops stay true to old-school Chinese style. Seasoned simply with salt and pepper, then crowned with a vibrant mix of peppers and plenty of fried garlic. Though the serrano peppers mingling with the milder red and green bell might look intimidating, but the heat is manageable, especially if you avoid the serranos themselves. Salt and pepper pork chop has roots in Cantonese cooking, where simplicity meets deep, bold flavors. The dish is a wonderful example of the balance of salt and spice. Originating in southern China, it made its way into Chinese-American kitchens where it became a staple, especially in Hong Kong-style cafes. The focus on minimal seasoning lets the quality of the pork shine, with a crisp, shatteringly delicate breading that resists grease, keeping the experience light despite the deep frying. Wickedly good, these pork chops deliver on every level. The crunch, the burst of aromatic garlic, and the slight tingle from the peppers all play together beautifully. It's the kind of dish you'll find yourself picking at, bone and all, long after you're full. Singapore Noodles, despite its name, doesn't actually hail from Singapore, but rather the Cantonese kitchens of Hong Kong, where the dish was born in the 1950s. It's often a gamble to order, a dish so frequently mistreated, often drowned in an obscene yellow curry powder, or so timidly seasoned it barely registers on the palate. But here, the kitchen more than delivers. The spice blend, mixed from scratch, weaves coriander, turmeric, and house-made yellow curry powder into a beautiful tapestry. One can sense the chef has, through years of trial and error, perfected the run-of-the-mill recipes found in your standard Chinese restaurant. I used to find a version just as masterful at the now lost Palm Ace Buffet, a Vegas institution where this dish was once prepared with reverence. Those days have passed, but I finally discovered a rendition worthy of my cravings. This plate isn't just seasoned, it's infused. The rich stock seeps into every strand of rice vermicelli, carrying layers of umami, the kind that can only come from a properly reduced broth. The shrimp, as I've mentioned before, pristine, so fresh they almost snap when bitten into, each one sweet, perfectly cooked. The egg, barely set, adds a silkiness, while crisp, tender vegetables bring brightness and crunch. The corners intact, the shortcuts untraveled. It's the Singapore noodles I've been searching for, a rare example where a humble dish becomes something extraordinary. Wow, this dish, so vibrant, it practically leaps off the plate. But don't worry, it's not just a feast for the eyes, it's a full-on flavor festival. Crispy beef is a modern twist on a classic Chinese-American dish inspired by Sichuan-style dry-fried beef, where thinly sliced meat is deep-fried to achieve that addictive crunch. Originally created to balance bold flavors of sweet, tart, and spicy, it's since become a fan favorite in Chinese-American cuisine. Here, the beef is perfectly crispy, like a bracing slap of cold mountain air on a winter morning. And the sauce? A knockout blend of tangy, sweet, and just a kiss of heat from the red chilies. If you're into bold flavors, this one's for you. It actually reminds me a lot of their Dragon Bite chicken, which is equally intense. My advice? Choose one or the other, as together, they can easily overwhelm your taste buds. And if the sweetness feels a bit much, try balancing it with a drizzle of chili oil or ask for a splash of Chinese black vinegar. Trust me, they both work wonders. I absolutely love this dish, and if you're a fan of bold, crunchy, flavor-packed bites, you will too. The title, Mongolian Beef, is a bit of naming sleight of hand, as it didn't originate in Mongolia, but rather emerged from Chinese-American kitchens as a nod to the bold, fire-kissed flavors of northern Chinese cuisine. The dish was inspired by the Mongolian tradition of searing meats over open flames, adapted into their stir-fry equivalent. As most of you know, I often avoid ordering Mongolian beef because when it's bad, it's truly awful. Overly sweet, syrupy sauces drowning lifeless pale beef seems to plague many renditions. But right now, I wish you had smell-o-vision, because the aroma wafting from this plate of Mongolian beef is absolutely captivating. Just look at that perfect char. The beef has been beautifully seared in a blazing hot iron wok, achieving that coveted wok a whisper of smokiness only possible with masterful heat control. The other common pitfall with this dish is in the sauce. Many chefs go overboard with the sugar, turning it into an overpoweringly one-dimensional dish, a one-note Johnny on steroids. But not here. The sugar is balanced, present just enough to give the beef that slight caramelized sweetness it needs, without overexpressing the deep savory notes of soy sauce and the gentle heat of black pepper. It's a thoughtful balance, respecting the dish's roots while elevating its flavors. This is Mongolian beef done right. Plate full of history, technique, and flavor. In closing, I'm absolutely thrilled you could join us today on this flavorful adventure through one of the finest old-school Chinese restaurants in the Vegas Valley. Dragon Bite masterfully crafts time-honored dishes, rich in history and prepared with authentic techniques that truly honor tradition. Every bite was exceptional, making it nearly impossible to crown a single standout dish of the day. The crispy beef was phenomenal, crispier than crisp, with a perfect balance of heat and sweetness. The Egg Foo Young, while slightly unconventional in its preparation, still delivered wonderfully satisfying flavors. The salt and pepper pork chop was impossible to put down, and many more dishes which I love. However, if I had to choose but a single dish that stole the show and my heart, it would have to be the legendary Dragon Bite Chicken. It completely lived up to the buzz and then some, and proved on this occasion that the food bloggers were right in their non-stop raving about it. Okay, well, don't miss Dragon Bite. I know I'll be back soon. Who knows, maybe you'll see us there. And make sure to tell them Let's Eat Vegas sent you. Calling all foodies. Join us next week, Friday, January 31st, 2025, when we review a fabulous restaurant but a stone's throw from the Fremont Street experience in Old Downtown. Mind-bending combinations, epic flavors, and dishes that touch the soul. If you don't fall in love with this place, you may have your Foodie Society membership permanently revoked. This might be a good time to hit the notifications bell so you get a reminder when the new review becomes available. And of course, it's always a good time to like, subscribe, comment, or share. It helps us grow and to bring you more reviews. Finally, here's that offer we told you about at the beginning of the video. Mention Let's Eat Vegas sent you and receive a free appetizer. Okay, until we eat again, bon appetit!